Have you ever found yourself in bed, replaying a conversation in your head, or mapping out every possible outcome of a decision? And before you know it, it's 3 a.m. That is overthinking. We keep revisiting the same thoughts or problems without reaching a solution. We end up second guessing, reanalyzing, and end up with a ton of what ifs or should haves. We actually feel that by overthinking, we are being wise, we are being smart and proactive. Hello, friend. Welcome to Super Entrepreneurs Podcast. I am your host, Shahid Durrani. Many years ago, when I used to take protein shakes, I had spent nearly 20 minutes in a health store one day deciding between two brands of protein powder. 20 minutes for protein. I took pictures, compared the ingredients, inspected the packaging, thought about that one article I read regarding the best ingredients to look for in protein. I had massively overthought a really simple decision. Now, let's transfer that level of overthinking into the business world. It's about budgets, teams, strategies, the future of your business. This is an important topic today. Overthinking as a business owner. Let's look at the pitfalls and how to overcome this never ending loop that holds us back. So, have you ever found yourself in bed, replaying a conversation in your head, or mapping out every possible outcome of a decision? And before you know it, it's 3 a.m. That is overthinking. We keep revisiting the same thoughts or problems without reaching a solution. We end up second guessing, reanalyzing, and end up with a ton of what ifs or should haves. We actually feel that by overthinking, we are being wise, we are being smart and proactive. It reminds me of a time when I had a habit of looking upwards and my eyes would go left and right because of all the thinking that I was doing. My wife would laugh and say that she always knows when I was planning and thinking. I was always planning, second guessing, plan some more, take action, doubt the action, go back to thinking. It was a vicious loop. However, don't get me wrong, there's a big difference between overthinking and critical thinking. Critical thinking is constructive. You evaluate information, look at things from different angles, and make a quick decision and inject it with trust. Critical thinking comes from calmness, which brings clarity. Overthinking, on the other hand, doesn't bring clarity. Instead, it's a foggy maze of doubt and worry. As business owners, we always hear about being detail oriented, to pay attention and ensure everything is just perfect, especially from our parents. But there's a fine line between being thorough and analysis paralysis. Being thorough means to cover all bases with the information you have at that moment, is purposeful. Analysis paralysis is when you are caught up in dissecting every tiny detail that you end up stuck, unable to make a move or decision. It's like going to a networking event and seeing a group of people having a good time and you want to join them, but instead, Wonder if they will like you. What if you don't know what to say? What if I'm intruding? Or maybe I will just be more gregarious at the next event. Yeah, we'll just do it the next event. My friend, it's important to think things through, but making quick decisions and taking action is way more important. Overthinking might just be holding you back more than you realize. I wasted years of my life with this problem of overthinking. Fear holds us back. Taking risk is a major part of life and running a business. Now, think about walking into an ice cream parlor with hundreds of different flavors. Sounds like a dream, but really, you can only pick one flavor and there's no going back. You will be standing there wondering which flavor to pick. It feels paralyzing. In the world of business, it's about investments, sources of income, strategies, partnerships, and so much more. The fear, the worry of making the wrong choice is real. No one wants to regret making the wrong decision. And we have this innate human instinct to control everything. We want to predict every challenge, foresee every hurdle. However, it's impossible to control everything. We wish we had a magical crystal ball to warn us, but we don't. With this obsession, the need to control, we end up overanalyzing and second guessing everything. And I mean everything. I remember before my transformational journey, I was overthinking about whether to launch a patient acquisition podcast, a micro niche podcast, or this podcast. I would wake up in the middle of the night and couldn't sleep. I would get possessed by my thoughts regarding this decision. Mind you, it was a common occurrence. I would always be involved with some sort of overthinking. I had no idea that thoughts can be tamed. I never learned anywhere in school or friends and family about our reason faculty being a tool which can be controlled. Working on my higher mental faculties, such as my will, reason, perception, imagination, intuition, changed my life. It allows me to take my power back and live from inside out, not a victim to outside people, circumstances, or situations. This podcast decision was haunting me for months, but after studying daily, understanding these gifts that we all have, the decision became much easier. And here we are today. I understand it's only natural to want the best for our business, but striving for perfection and control can lead us into this chaos of overthinking. And let's not even get started on the toll this takes on our minds and overall health. Overthinking is like having 20 browser tabs open, all playing different YouTube videos at once. It's noisy, chaotic, and exhausting. That's mental fatigue, and it spills over into our personal lives. No matter how much we think, rethink, and overthink, we can't predict everything. We would love to, but we just can't. Our mind is our biggest asset, the most powerful asset we have. Work it out, make it stronger for your purpose. Have you heard of Harry Houdini? I'm sure you have, but here's a short summary to rejog your memory. Harry was this legendary magician and escape artist. In the 1900s, early 1900s, he was famously known for his death defying stunts and escapes from anything, handcuffs, straitjackets, you name it. Now, here's a story that will make you rethink. overthinking. Houdini was challenged to escape from a jail cell. He was confident in this skill. He took on this challenge. Inside the cell, he started doing his thing. He was trying everything to pick the lock. Hours went by, struggling like never before. Mind you, he successfully escaped many times from different jail cells. Many times. But he just couldn't escape this one. After sheer exhaustion, he leaned against the cell door and it opened. The door was never locked in the first place. Crazy, right? Just like Houdini, we business owners sometimes overcomplicate things. We get trapped in our own minds, believing there are barriers, obstacles, limitations, locked doors everywhere. But those barriers are usually just in our imagination and based on past experiences or conditioning. We just need to push through. Take risk, learn from failures, develop courage, study yourself, look within. As the famous quote says, you're not a drop in the ocean, you are the ocean in a drop. The best form of study is studying yourself. It creates faith over fear. Life doesn't have to be difficult. It can be heavenly, it can be a heavenly journey only if you want it to be. Also remember, action often beats perfection. Taking that step, creating that momentum is key. Successful people have one major thing in common. They make quick decisions. Decision making is an art which can be mastered. So here's a challenge for you. Think about a decision or a problem you have that you've been mulling over for a while. I challenge you to take one step towards resolving it, whether it's just making a small decision, seeking advice, or changing your perception about it. Let's break free from our self made jails of overthinking. Everything starts with a decision. Maybe the door you think is blocking you is just waiting for you to give it a nudge. Thank you for joining me. Please remember to subscribe and turn notifications on if you're watching this. And remember to share with colleagues that may find this helpful.